Good evening and welcome to Tuesday, April 7th, Park Board meeting. Do you have approval of the minutes, please? Have a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay. Do we have any discussion or questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. New business. Okay, Nicole?
Good evening. Just a couple of updates for you. I want to start with one from Stellar Communities. Crystal Beach, we opened bids before the Tea Time Pool Group and Calhoun Construction all bid. They're relatively close. While we did open bids, we have not awarded. The bidder is Pool Group. $2,527,000 is the estimated construction price on that project. So they're still reviewing the plans, and then we're going to talk. Part of the requirement was submitting a list of other work that they've done in the past.
Because I know a couple of those have done work in Madison.
Yes.
Not for the schools, so.
The park plan, you all received a copy of the survey results. There were 63 responses when the results were printed. That survey is still open and able to receive responses, so we have received one extra since you want to see in the next 5 years, because that's really the next step on the plans is community and your all's input on what. Second question, how often do you use the park? Really, nothing too shocking about what was included. We also asked if they would like to see us invest more money from the community. I'm hoping to get some more responses before we close that survey. I would like to also.
I was going to suggest the complex, because you have, once we start, probably a few there and maybe one night, just make a concerted effort. Have you filled it up?
Just a little bit to cater more towards the youth, which is normal. Basically all the introduction completed. I'm starting to work on some of the background information. Brent Spry on board. He's going to take drone pictures of all the parks, so we'll have a nice visual of what's there existing. And then we did contract with Ratio Architects, and then potentially looking at a new park up by Miles Ridge. That's just a potential kind of wild card. There's some space where the old landfill.
Everybody in
It'll
that.
serve hundreds of
From
families and children.
Frank's Drive and Miles Ridge, and even across with that nice sidewalk you can pull.
And Sunrise with our golf cart ordinances that we're also modifying, I mean, it will literally serve thousands of children if we have a park there. We have 12 acres or so.
Yeah.
Are they going to do any work? They're not going to do any work pre-opening Crystal this year, correct?
That is still an ongoing discussion. I know when we had open houses there with the contractor, several asked if they could wait because they were concerned about getting crews going and then into things versus actual construction.
That's great. Okay, thank you.
And have they said how long it's going to take to complete the entire
So,
project?
they didn't. We are bound by our grant agreement with Okra. We have 18 months to. Definitely between this pool season, next pool season. That's kind of what we prohibit the pool being open.
Okay. Good.
Well, in the past, from what I've been told, we've usually received 50, so we're already past what we've done in the last park plan. My goal is always better. So we're close. The meeting after, give you some time to think about those.
Okay.
Bathrooms, sorry.
That's
Thank
the
you.
goal.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Update ordinances now, please.
Readings with City Council, but we still want to present to the Park Board since it is directly with the parks, and hope that you would basically. One of those being that our current park ordinance says that the board will serve without compensation. State statute does allow park board members to be compensated, and so that would be the first one to update. Now, would you like to, I don't know, pass a recommendation between each, or just kind of as a whole, or I'm not sure what you guys want to do with that. Section C was incorrect, so we're just going to focus on section E, and that was,
And that is, you know, if that name change is approved, and I think Mayor Welch definitely deserves a recognition there, particularly with all of the investment that we would also be placing recognition for the JC Club as well at that park, so that their long-term commitment to Madison and Madison's park system would continue to be recognized.
Okay.
we need to change this ordinance so that we are eligible to serve alcohol at Sunrise. The current ordinance says that we sell alcohol. Ordinance says otherwise, so we just need to approve that. We've changed our fees a little bit since then. So we want to basically delete that entire section and just put all of the fees and the jurisdiction.
Form of a motion and a second, additional discussion, and then have a vote on moving these recommendations on favorably to City Council, where our council will draft the amendments to the ordinances, and then it'll go through the normal.
To move forward with the 4 ordinances that have been presented today.
I'll motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Tim? Do I have any discussion? Does anyone have any discussion? Okay. So this, once we move forward with this then goes presented to City Council. City Council will then have 2 readings on this, is that correct?
There's the open to public comment and discussion by the council, and then there'll be a 3rd reading, which will actually be a vote on the amendments to the ordinance. Council can, at the 2nd reading, after the 2nd reading, suspend the rules and go immediately to the 3rd reading. So it could possibly happen over the course of two city council meetings. Normal course is 3 city council meetings.
Okay, all right. Is there any other discussion? All in favor of moving forward with the ordinances as presented?
Aye.
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 Passes unanimously. Okay, next up under new business is meeting day and time
I
change.
don't like giving an analysis over April because April hasn't concluded yet and we don't have all the finances finished. So then we're a month and a half behind because we're reporting on March's numbers, which to make changes for anything that happened there is kind of difficult. We're already 3 weeks down the road. So we think it'd be beneficial if we change our meetings to the 1st of the month. So for example, if we were to go forward with this, basically not having a meeting in May, and then our very first meeting would be that first week of June. That way we can then give you updates on May's numbers. It just happened, and I think it'll be a little bit more progressive moving forward on making those real-time changes and better evaluations. So if we are to do that, the time at 6 o'clock would still work. The days, we would not be able to do Tuesdays at City Council, so we would be looking at Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll leave that up to the board, up for discussion on what your thoughts are on that.
I would prefer a Wednesday here, but I'm okay with the 1st of the month.
I'm flexible either way, either day.
Well, I would prefer Thursdays, but but we'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
What about, are there more things, is it matter school-wise events?
7,000 things every day.
So it doesn't matter what day it
So
is?
it doesn't matter what day, I just gotta make sure I know in advance so I can move things around, or move
Okay.
people around.
All right, so let's do this. We'll start it on Wednesdays, but maybe we can eventually look to change it or something like that if is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, so that means that we'll move it to the first Wednesday of the month, which makes it Wednesday, June the 2nd. So do we need to take a vote on this too, or?
I would.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So do I have a motion that we will move our park board meetings now to the first Wednesday of the month, starting June the 2nd, in order to assess the claims for the month? Do I have a motion to make that change, please? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Okay. Very good. Okay. Golf report, Jeff.
Invitational Saturday, May 1st. Chamber of Commerce is on May 7th. And then our first Friends of Sunrise event will be at Shamble on May the 15th. Updating the rounds played as of through Monday, we're at 1442 for the month. And we've got 4 days to go, and then I'll text you a revised number on Friday. Okay. Airification occurred yesterday and today. It went very well. Brandon got to 18 before it was open by noon today. So it really went pretty well. Weather was perfect. Top dressing went extremely well. Tony's guys were a big help, making sure logistically that we got everything done on time. So all in all, I would say it was very, very successful. So that's really good because it's traumatic for the greens, and they're a very important part of golf type thing. So
Perfect timing.
So on that machine, was it a minor break, or is it something that we're gonna need to look at a whole new machine?
I think it was a minor break. One of the things he was counting on last week was a little, and so I think it was just impact, wear and tear. So
Okay.
all in all, it went really good. So anybody have any questions?
No, it's an invitational, it's this high school invitational, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How many teams we got? Eight.
18? Oh,
It's good.
good,
Good deal.
great, all
Thank
right,
you very much.
thank you.
We did have one question off
Yeah.
topic of that, but just kind of a clear on changing the way that the price points. One thing that we, I guess, buy a cart sticker. Let's just say the mayor and I had a golf cart. We were to buy a sticker at $625. We then would share it, and we don't pay any additional charge. So we pay $300, and even if we were in the same cart, we're each paying $15 to use that one cart. So we're paying $30 for that one cart. Cart, it's $15 total for that cart. So that was kind of just a discussion that I wanted to have with the park board and with you, Jeff, on thoughts as to that.
Are you talking about a rental or owning your own car?
And a rental, and I was just using the sticker as an example because right now with the sticker you could split it, but if a rental, we don't have that option at the moment.
So
that
a
was
sticker,
kind
if two people wanna go in,
Cards.
got it,
Correct.
okay.
And so that's what I just wanted some clarity on, so that we're all on the same page on that, because it could be interpreted different ways. So,
And maybe you were even, so you owned half the cart, you owned half the cart. The way it was written up was that you paid $625 for a cart sticker, you paid $625 for a cart sticker.
That makes sense.
Right, well, I think that was how it originally.
Yes.
yeah.
And that went away, so the only option was, if you're gonna buy a cart sticker, even if you're sharing a cart with somebody, it was $625 per person. Now, I think there are some situations, Joel Strong, Glenn Murphy, Larry Montgomery, Ron Gregory, and I don't know what transpired with those guys, but those guys do own cart.
I don't think the expectation was you would charge,
Yeah, we had those.
somebody $1,300 to bring their private cart, to the course. I don't think that was the intention. I think there are several scenarios here, so I'm glad we're having this conversation. We did away with the rider fee because it was a very small amount of revenue that was created. And as we were reevaluating the actual season member pass and the cart sticker fee structure, that's where the bulk of the revenue was gonna come from. And so one sticker fee is the way to go. I think that's probably what, particularly as we're trying to be cognizant of the fact that we had a large increase in one season. It wasn't intended to be multiple of an increase there, right?
Right.
And then on the cart rental, so we did away with riders, and that would be applicable if someone was riding with someone who paid for a cart sticker, right? To clarify that that person isn't being charged a cart rental fee. And then the other scenario is if two individuals are playing golf and they're staying in one cart, then they would share the $15 cart rental fee, not be charged $15 each, so you're getting $30 for a cart rental. So I think that's been a little bit all over the board, and we've seen those scenarios, and we just like to clarify it, because I'm not sure.
People own it, I think one cart, one sticker. And you say the rider fee was pretty minuscule amount of money?
Well, the rider fee only accounted for like 1% of our total revenue, which is why we did away with it. So it's zero. The rider fee is actually zero. So we shouldn't be charging anyone to ride in a private car. You know, there's also another scenario that we've discussed, which is someone who doesn't have a cart sticker, who brings their private cart to play on the course. Reconciliation here, and I think it would give Jeff some guidance on it, that would help, so that we actually are assessing the right fee when people come to play golf.
Right.
And do they typically charge
Per person.
per person? So if a cart rental's $30, they charge $15 and $15.
Same price no matter what, if you're buying something from somebody, yes.
Right. And the
You
fee
pay
is 40.
as a person.
Yes,
It's kind of what we're charging now, right?
that's exactly right.
And what we're saying is you're suggesting we don't do that, we charge just 15 for the cart, and whoever it's.
If they were riding together.
I wouldn't recommend that.
I don't either, I don't think so.
I've never been anywhere where.
I've never
I
done,
think that's,
because you're just paying for
Yeah.
the use of a cart.
I agree.
Whether you're
I think
riding or-
if multiple people own a cart, there should just be one cart sticker price for that cart, and I'm fine with that, but I feel like we might be losing revenue.
Well, here's the real implication, is everybody's gonna say, which is what they're doing, well, fine, just give me my own cart. So then you have twice as many carts running around. You know, if we wanna be cognizant of what our rates are and we want to attract play, you're not charging twice the cart fee, or you shouldn't be, in my opinion, because you're not applying that same logic to someone who's bringing their own cart, or someone who you wouldn't have, because hypothetically, we're now encouraging 4 carts per foursome. And that increases speed, increases the length of play, increases wear and tear on the course, and increases wear and tear on, and if 4 people wanna play around, all 4 of them can bring a cart. That's pretty unusual for a golf course, unless here we've
I
been
wouldn't think
flexible.
it increases the length of play though.
That's-
Typically when everybody's got their own cart.
Golf more than I do, but I think it can impact speed of play. More importantly, it's impacting the wear and tear on the course and wear and tear on the cars.
I agree
So,
with that.
does the board wanna create an incentive to double the amount of carts that are out on the course at any one time? Because that can all wanting a cart, for example, 30 players, all wanting a cart, and now our entire inventory of carts are out on the course, and you can't accommodate someone else who's walking on that wants to play around the golf. Because we don't have a rule that says 2 persons per cart. So I think there's an opportunity here to make,
Person per cart?
you could do that, but that would be probably a big change at Sunrise. Because they're all used to, and also those that have private carts, there are 4 people out there. Most courses has a rule that don't allow private carts. That's another, unique thing about Sunrise. So I think there's a balancing act here the board should probably seriously consider. That isn't gonna sacrifice a lot of revenue.
Okay. I can see both sides, because I can look at it as revenue potential and then goodwill. Potential loss of revenue from not charging. I mean, is there a way to track that or not?
Sure, we have cart rentals. What I don't do people in the car. I think we're incentivizing, everybody's gonna want their own cart because they're gonna pay the same price regardless. Unless you just wanna, some cost to it. And so I guess maybe 50% at the sacrifice of $7.50 per person, $15, up for 2.
Will allow you to make it a second person wanna come play, cause it's discounted.
I think so too. Because now instead of saying it's $40 per person, it's also got some promotional benefit to it, like, or remember Bronkella's.
Then too, even if I wanna get my own cart, when I pay my greens fees, 99% of the time I say, sorry, it's cheaper cart because we're all on carts, it's a packed Saturday or something, so they just say, you just gotta ride with somebody.
$40 paying a $25 greens fee and $15 cart ride. So if you and I were going to play together, you'd pay 40, I'd pay 40. And last year, obviously with COVID, we required everybody to take a cart, swung the other way. They were coming with a friend of theirs and they want to ride together. So 40 and 40, come from out of town to play with him, and I'm going to ride with him in his cart because I want to, because we're buddies and we haven't seen each other for a long time. I got to pay $40 and ride in a private cart. Now that, before it was a private fee that was there, it was in place to accommodate that need. Now, I don't think that, because before, two things occurred. One, when we got card. So we lost revenue because they were drawing teams intentionally, so nobody had to rent one. And we finally did away with that. And so we go past that, and I think that's, would be a disaster if we did that. But you could ride in a private car and not pay anything.
Right.
And, right.
You know, I would question why is that? Because you're paying the green fees, but there's no maintenance, no electricity, nothing on that private cart. So why would I get some velocity on private play or outside play? So why would we charge someone to ride in, for me to be a rider? I mean, I think that's, because we took that out. Remember, we looked for a number, we were trying to get to a revenue number that would allow us to break even, part of that. So I think we need to be cognizant that we need to be creating velocity of play outside of season membership. Seems fair. I don't know if you want to go as far as passing a new rule, another rule, for example, that says, don't think that it's good policy to have 4 carts per foursome. And that's what we're incentivizing with this rate structure.
Have you seen many 4 carts?
Private carts are certainly that way. I mean, we've got a lot of the guys that have a private cart that carry 2 of their own.
They don't take their bags off, they don't take their bags off the cart. They
Yeah,
just
they're
leave
just
them
not
on.
gonna let anybody ride with them.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's a little bit.
that's the nature of the beast right
Yeah,
there,
it is.
letting private cars.
And one other thing that we have done over the year, and 3 of us showed up, it would be, you were paying 15 for the cart, you're paying 15 for the cart, and I'm the odd man out, so I gotta pay 30 for the cart. That didn't go.
$30. See what I'm saying? There's all these kind of disconnects where the dots don't line up.
Right.
He's saying the single person had to pay the $30 too.
Well, he's saying that is kind of a non-starter. Because someone's not gonna pay
And it was a bad situation in a lot of ways. So we finally did go to just a per person charge and figure that out, so that we were supposed to have 4, and one guy got sick, and we got 3, nobody gets penalized. So, I think the only, at least in my opinion, is, it does seem, exciting with private card, and I think free is too much, but if it's half of that, or $5 off, make it $10, so they pay a $25 greens fee and $10, you know, other than that. And so, but that's, anything like that, I think would be, Andy Craig's boy came in today, and and so if there would have been I said, there's no incentive to go get that cart, if you just want to use it, and there's,
sticker or no card sticker.
Andy has a cart sticker. His dad,
Yeah.
and so he used the cart,
Yeah.
but he had to,
Like, when you go get your plates for your car, you're paying excise tax and plate cost for that car, regardless of the number of occupants. Within our existing rate structure, to increase the velocity of outside play, this is one way to do it. And the other benefit is it reduces wear and tear on.
And not to sound stupid, but I'm completely lost as to where we are
Me
right now.
too.
Okay?
So are you saying 2
Because
per
I'm flipping
cart?
good full circle.
No, guys, 2 people per cart is financially. And saying it's $15, you 2 can pay $7.50 plus your $25 if it's a weekday. These carts don't have an indefinite life on them, and neither does the course.
So wouldn't that encourage if we did 2 per cart for the rental ones, not the private? If we did 2 per cart, and then like you say, it would incentivize them to split the fee.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of benefit
And
there.
then we wouldn't have as much out.
Yeah, and we also said we weren't gonna charge a rider fee, so I'm not sure why we were
We're charging for
significantly
use of a
increasing.
private car, without a cart sticker, use of a private car, is what we're charging, correct?
it could occur both ways.
Yes.
If you bring a private cart on and you do not have a sticker, you pay $15 per person to bring that cart on there. If I owned a cart and I had a sticker and you came to play golf with me, you would pay $15 to ride in my private cart. I would not.
Yeah, I think there should be an incentive.
And
Make it $5.
negative to our revenue stream if I had a private cart and then I said, Zach, you can use my cart anytime, you just come over, it's not gonna cost you anything. Gil, you might as well come on.
Well, you won't lose revenue if he plays twice as much, for example, and say it's a little more affordable. I'm gonna go play twice this week. There's pros and cons with all these approaches.
Yeah,
And promote the things that we talked about. More velocity of actually play,
except,
less wear and tear on the cars, less wear and tear on the course.
except like you said, how do you prevent,
You had a pass,
Yeah,
you had a pass, you don't have to pay the
Well,
green
he's
fee.
paying the green fee.
Well, no, they've got passes, and they want, and
Can we-
because they don't have to pay for a card.
Can we wait till next board and let us process this,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, because
Good idea.
I'm totally confused. I mean,
I
I gotta
just-
have,
you know, you can't just loan your car to anybody,
yeah,
but if me and my friend are going out, I'm already either paying a cart sticker fee,
Yeah.
or I'm paying a cart fee. And I'm just saying, should it be per person? Otherwise, he's just gonna say, well, great, I'll just take one of your cards. There's no incentive right now not to just drive the heck out of our carts. And we are very, very liberal with regards to the number of carts we allow on the course. And there is a cost to having twice as many carts on a course. But you can table it till.
yeah,
Let's-
yeah,
yeah, let's
I
go.
need
Let's
to,
give us a
I
week.
need to process
Figure it
it a
out.
little bit more, okay?
So what are we doing right now? I guess I'm not
Nothing.
clear.
Nothing right now. They've introduced the time.
No, I mean, what is he charging right now?
Good
Sure,
job.
what do you think?
$50.
It's,
Do what it is.
unless you have a cart sticker, you do not have a cart sticker, you ride in a private cart or one of ours, it's $15 per person.
Okay.
And that's, we're gonna leave it for that for right now, until we have time to
And
go
that's
over
why we,
everything.
well, that's what we've been doing.
It says
You
attendance 23 and under in the household, can use it.
use that sticker.
Right, okay.
But outside of that parameter, they pay the $15.
Okay,
I think you kind of said what we said, which is, as long as it's within the family, you don't have to pay an extra.
Right.
There is,
Fee.
right, so, if, father, wife,
Kids.
kids live in
kids,
a home,
23, 20, I think it's 23 and
Yeah,
under.
whatever.
Yeah,
23.
yeah, and so then they can use
It's
the
like
card,
insurance, too.
since the
You
card
know,
has
it's
a
not-
sticker for that
It's not
household,
18 anymore.
we don't charge anybody within the household.
it's 23 and younger.
But anybody not in that household, friends, visitors from out of town, whatever, we do charge them a fee to ride, and then a private card.
All right, okay, we'll sit down and watch that. Okay,
Any more questions?
nope,
Good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
don't ask me about golf courses. I'm confused. All right, director's report, please.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the golf course. I'm going to start here for just this quick presentation, and then I'll get up to the podium. So one thing that been looking again for ways to reinvest into the course and try to incentivize some more daily play. We said that we were going to be making upgrades throughout the course, and this is one of the ways moving forward that we will have them by the beginning of June. But we'll be introducing GPSs on all of the carts that we have up there at Sunrise. Now this is only for Robert, and you'll get a layout of the course, of the hole itself. You'll get to see exact length, the front of the green, the back of the green, and then the pin location. And it'll show you as you hit the ball and you drive your cart up, your rangefinder, or if you don't have one, you'll be able to be a little bit more accurate with that. And then you can do up to 4 hazards per hole, which at Sunrise. And then this is the physical monitor in the cart. And I play a couple different courses up in Indianapolis that have this exact feature. And it's very, very easy to use, very easy to see as well, even if it's a bright sunny day. It's not an issue. Easy to see, but small enough that it doesn't impair your vision. And then wiring and things like that is tucked neatly behind. They'll do the installation themselves, so that's not. The screens will go to sleep, and they'll also give you those kind of notifications, since they can show you your pace of play by hey, you're X amount of minutes behind, vice versa. The only negative thing with this is, since we do have private carts, you know how close you're coming to another group. But that is, and it will map out the entire cart path. So then if it's wet outside or whatever the case is, and it's cart path only, if there was there's a lightning storm or something that was happening that you need to get to safety, we can flash those messages. Geofencing, the same thing. We have a lot of residential area around that. We would signify that you can't go past a certain point. It again would give you that same kind of notification. So something flashing on the screen, with an audible sound to go along with it. We will be able to show the different pin locations, so we can set up to 4 different spots that you can show exactly where that pin is going to be located to just make it a little more accurate as you're out there with the GPS. And then that's what I mentioned with the cart indicator. We show you how far ahead. Throws it off with private carts, and because then you wouldn't know how far ahead that person is. And then also, stop at Putter's Grill for, you know, $5 cheeseburger, whatever the case is. We're able to do advertisings and set those up to where we can set trip points. So every time you get within, you know, you get to the tee box, one goes off, or anytime you get within 100 yards of the green, it goes off. So it will show up as an advertisement on there, but then obviously only for a brief amount of time. Like I said, we're just waiting on that to actually be available to us if they're on back order with the inventory. But that's something that will be done first.
And then they'll come and install them?
They will come in and install those.
And how long does it take to install them? How long will it take them to install it?
They'll do it in a day. Breaks down to just about $5,000 a year. First year is just a little heavier for the installation, which is $1,200. So this one's about $6,500, and the rest of the time it's about $4,500. And then they'll take care and do replacements. If they do software updates, they can automatically send that out to us. Be on the course and incentivize that daily play, since that's something that has been. So was there any questions on that portion of it? Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick with Sunrise, and then I'll go up to the top just to finish up with this. $15,000 between our cart fees and green fees. We'll do the updates on the financials here after this. And then where we stand right now, Kim confirmed with Jeff today that we have taken care of all the delinquent cart barn storage. So everybody is paid up that is in the carts, the barns right now.
Those again real quick.
What?
177 season
Yep.
passes.
177 season passes,
Okay.
101 cart stickers, 32 cart barn storage.
And
And that's the maximum number in the barn? Is
No,
32?
we're at 46. So, and then Jeff did a good job, like I said, of making sure that all the delinquent cart barn storage has been taken care of. So we had the greens aerated yesterday. They did get the 18th green aerated today. They were able to fix that. I was up there for a while today with Brent Sprite. He is going to get a proposal to me with the help of a guy that he knows. I forget his exact name, but he's a website designer and is going to give me kind of an example of what it would look like using hole 1 and 2. And what that's going to look like with the website, with the booking time, showing the diagram and layout of the holes to those out-of-towners and the tourism, which this town is always attracting. So that all is something that we're very excited about. And then we have youth baseball and softball registration ongoing through the end of the month. Currently we have 79 boys and we have 47 girls that are signed up. May 1st of June, and we'll run that through July, for the first couple weeks of July. What's going on Monday nights, and that will last through June 28th down at the Madison Sport Course. In that, so then we don't have those open quite as long, so they'll be able to start play here within the next few weeks. So that'll be good. For the Brown Gym, same kind of thing of what we've got going. We continue Thursdays, 8:45 to 9:45, and this is low impact. This one is just a more strenuous kind of. This is still an aerobics type, Kim.
Yeah, the Monday, Thursday is a little more like strength training,
Okay.
stretching, that kind of stuff, and then low impact.
With the city campground, we officially opened on April 1st. Our new campground attendant is Mr. Doug Buckler. He's an avid camper with over 30 years. For the month of March, we had $9,315 in reservations. And year to date, as of today, we're at $56,625. For the Crystal Beach Pool, we have gone through all the applications, held the paperwork with her experience in teaching. She's going to be fantastic in handling the kids and also interacting with the public. So we're really looking forward to that. We do have our assistant managers, our head lifeguard, our swim lesson instructor that has 9. Is that correct, Kim?
Yes.
9. And then if we can fill out just a few more for that. And then with the 14, that's not including a couple part-time people with that. So we should be right at our 20 mark, because obviously we have construction that's gotta get started as soon as possible. Our update on Crystal Beach numbers, we have 31 water aerobic season passes sold, 7th through June 18th. And then July, this is gonna be July 5th. Next, for Rutgers Sports Complex, we were trying to spread it out, and we could only have X amount of people that were there. So field 1 got no trap breaking, no maintenance, no any. Our field conditioner and our sand, our brick dust, I believe is what it is, integrate that to get that soil more pliable for the field, and that's really looking great. All the batting cages, nets are up. We do currently have our junior high teams playing there for girls softball for 7th and 8th grade. They play on field 3. And we have applied for a $50,000 grant through the Major League Baseball Association. That is strictly for update. And then last night I was at the Jefferson County Board of Tourism meeting, and I did get $6,000 approved for portable mounds. And that is not just for Rutgers, that is for on that. And we will be looking at, we've got another that we're looking at doing, so that's where Nicole mentioned to you of working with Ratio Architecture, getting some different design ideas with the current layout of the complex, and then also kind of brainstorming what if we do, again, this is one for the kids, for what we have in our rec leagues, but also we're meant at the city as a whole. So I'll keep you posted as we go through that process, but we will be pursuing that, and if that it doesn't work. In the parks, I already hit on these sport reports. They're still working on construction with that shelter house there next to, and then I've been in contact with a couple different companies, just seeing what dog park amenities would look like. They're just sprucing that place up a little bit. The area is appropriate. We have friendly stuff that just makes it look a little bit nicer. Park hop is over now with Hargan Matthews. Us do that in house. We're going to save about $1,000 according to the sales rep that I spoke with. But it's going to go in that bay that did have a wheelchair swing that the company disbanded pretty quickly after we got it installed. They deemed that wasn't safe. So we've had that bay vacant for quite a while. So we'll be getting 2 additional swings to put up down there. And then we are working on getting a gate put up at the entrance. We've had some of the public say that they would like to see something like that put in place, since we have a kind of, so we are working on plans for that to get that completed here pretty quickly. And then we've taken the metal benches, which is just the stainless steel. They got scorching hot in the summer. We've taken those to get the black vinyl lining done so that they won't be quite so hot. And it kind of goes with that aesthetic down there as well. $300,000 to $500,000 grant, no match, spread out over 2.5 years. That's awarded to 6 to 10 applicants, and they did have a little over 5,500 applications, so it was a very so we'll learn about that one within, I believe, I think it was about 2 months that we'll hear back from that. The MOB one will be about a month when we get the response between the parks and the park system, and that resulted in $133,593.49. And I have attached a revenue report for you for March, just so you could take a look at that. Don't pay attention to the miscellaneous $55,000 you see. And obviously, it's a little bit inflated just because of a lot of that was Sunrise memberships. So you're going to see that as front heavy, which we expect for you is just with the staffing changes. In terms of facilities, we've been looking at some different avenues for the facility management, and we concluded that Brad Bobo, whole group, he's assigning them tasks daily, following up with them, and we feel this is going to be more beneficial to the streets and to the parks of someone that's out there and checking on everything constantly throughout the day, is getting the work that needs to be done in hands. Obviously in the fall, streets need a lot of help when it comes to leaves, which is something we'll be able to do a little bit easier. Vice versa, when things like yesterday, like aerating the greens, Tony had 2 of his guys help out for that as well. So it's a give and take there, and it's working for the program coordinator position. So this will be handling all youth, adult, and senior activities, programming back to life. I think that's another area, like I said, with all of our rec leagues, but again, the tournaments that we could be knocking it out of the park. So until this Friday, yes. And that is all I have, unless you have any questions.
On obviously what you're hearing tonight with all the work they're doing to find new sources of capital to upgrade our park system. I personally feel like things are really starting to gel, and we've we've got a good, clear direction on where, which is a big part of the day-to-day activities in the park.
Last thing is claims.
To accept claims as presented.
Do I have a second?
That's second.
Okay, all in favor, excuse me, all in favor of claims? Aye.
Aye.
We're gonna not have a May meeting because we're moving our meetings to the first of the month. So our next meeting will be Wednesday, June the 2nd.
It's my understanding you're gonna have a special meeting Monday, May 3rd, is that correct?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
I'm sorry, we
Okay.
are. We're having a special meeting Monday, May the 3rd at 5:30. Sorry.